again, we're back. We just want to share with you for a couple minutes on some health tips. We noticed that there's been so much discussion on lockdowns and so much discussions on the food security and food and what we should eat and what we shouldn't eat. And we also take note that, during these lockdowns, so many of our friends, so many people are blooming, getting bigger and bigger because their eating habits change, eating a lot, not being able to get good exercise and good nutrition. And so we thought we'd just give us a few tips on how to survive in these lockdowns and not lose ourselves. Because to tell you the truth, during these lockdowns, my wife and I, we actually lost weight. We actually lost weight, not because we were not eating, but because we continued to eat healthy and continued to eat properly. We noticed that when I go into the food store and I'm the designated shopper. I go into the food store during the lockdown and I see people's trolley and it burns my heart. It hurts my heart when I see the amount of junk food in the trolley, the amount of sugar items which are addictive, which are causing and exacerbating this COVID-19 problem. We are already an obese society. We're already overweight and eating too much of the wrong thing. And then we have a COVID-19 which thrives. Let me repeat that. A COVID-19 which thrives on unhealthy bodies. It's having a field day on human bodies that are not healthy. That's what we're talking about when doctors talk about comorbidity. We have people who are hypertensive, diabetes, heart problems, cancer problems, all of these other issues and all of these markers. And when you combine COVID-19 with that, it's a recipe for disaster. It's toxic. It's killing the human body. It's taking them out left, right, and so if you're going to fight, because this is a war, you're in a war. You cannot laugh. You cannot act as if we're not in a war. We are in a war for our lives, for our health. If we are going to survive, we have to build up our immune system. Build up our system. We ought to be eating a lot of fruit, raw stuff, vegetables, lots and lots of vegetables. I applaud the government for their contributing. I think they said something like $1 million a week in terms of feeding persons who are hungry. But what are you feeding them? Are we filling them with sugary stuff, cornflakes, wafer, stuff like that, junk food? What are we filling them with? We have BAMSI, we have the agriculture department, we have all these fruits, all these vegetables that our farmers have that are spoiling, that are rotting, that are being thrown away. But are we putting them in those baskets for those people? Are they getting their pumpkin? Are they getting their squash, their cabbage, their okra, their Bahamian sweet potato? Are they getting these things? I don't know because I don't know what it is. I'm not on the food line, so I wouldn't know what's in the basket. But in those baskets ought to be first and foremost vegetables that we grow, that are free, because they're ours, we own them. And we don't have to spend $1 million a month or a week on food if we use mostly our own stuff. So we use these processed stuff. We don't give the people processed stuff. That's the last. Give the people stuff that's going to build up their immune system, that will help them and encourage them to be healthy, because we need a healthy society to fight COVID-19. You have the spiritual side, then you have the health side. And if you have all spiritual and no health, you're still going to be in. you still can, it goes hand in hand, they go together. You have to be a healthy society. Um, my wife is a health expert. She's more of a health expert than I am. She, she, she's a health junkie, I would say. Give us some tips on fasting and some tips on how to keep ourselves healthy during these lockdowns and during these shutdown times.
I think the important thing is to boost your immunity as a building block to good health, particularly in these times with COVID 19. We don't know what else is coming behind COVID 19. And so, if you go on a program of building your immunity, and of course, taking supplements is a good starter. But for one, I like natural. And so, as much as possible, you want to get your green leafy vegetables, your cabbage, your kale, your broccoli, those Swiss chards, and all that stuff is good for you. Spinach. If you could get the locally grown stuff, then we've found we would purchase vegetables, fruits and vegetables from the supermarket, and then we would also go to the agricultural farmers market and would buy the exact fruits and vegetables. And we've found that the locally grown produce would last for weeks as compared to the ones bought out of the grocery store that they go to powder, they spoil within a matter of days of having purchased it and go taking it home. So as much as possible to go to the farmers market, support our local producers, farmers and so forth at the produce market, usually on Saturdays at Gladstone Road and several other places. But you'd want to concentrate on those fruits and vegetables that will aid you in building your immunity. So Melvin mentioned the sweet potato, the pumpkin, the carrots, the cabbage, and as much as possible to not overdo it as far as cooking. So you just want to saute it lightly so that you have the crunch, or roast it. Roast it is a good way, with just a bit of olive oil. You don't want to kill all the nutrients in the fruit, in the vegetables. And then, of course, the fruits, our oranges and the grapefruits, as much as you can to boost your immunity. The watermelon, the papaya, the mango, which are all very good, high nutrient dense fruits and very high in vitamin C and other phytonutrients that are good to build your immune system. When you think about, we consume far too much sugar, and I'm talking about refined sugar. And so one of the things you'd want to do is to eliminate or limit the amount of sugar intake that you take in your system that would aid you in fighting off various diseases, And so we would go out. We make a lot of ginger lemonade. Ginger is very good. Ginger and turmeric is very good in boosting your immune system and aiding, and they have so many other health benefits. We would make a ginger lemonade, and when we do the ginger, I would actually juice the entire lemon, skin and all, because the skin also contains a lot of good properties in it that would fight against free radicals and other things that would break your system down. The ginger is also very good for you, that it helps with issues with your fighting inflammation. And something as simple as thyme, the cooking thyme. Once I feel myself coming down with a sore throat, I get a bunch of thyme leaves and I put it in the pot and boil it, let it steep for a bit, strain it off and drink that with a bit of honey. And thyme, your regular thyme, the thyme in the food store, it's about $3 and something for a batch of thyme leaves. You don't need that much of it. And you boil that. And so go back to the earth, go back to the natural things. Go back to nature. Fever grass, which is so great. Get your mint, your lime leaves, your papaya leaves, moringa leaves, noni leaves, okra water. This is something that we do quite often. Just get a fresh okra, cut the ends, put it in your hopefully distilled water, and let it steep for a couple hours or overnight. And the next morning, you only need about a half a cup, a quarter to a half a cup of the okra water. And the okra stops inflammation. It is
Right.
very good for a person who's suffering from diabetes because it regulates your blood sugar. And so there's so many things that we can do to help ourselves, and we
Right.
don't have to run to the physician. I mean, I respect the doctors, their knowledge and all of that. And yes, we do need to if you're under a doctor's uh, care, to certainly take care of what they're telling you, but also help yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mel mentioned about the fasting. Intermittent fasting is really good because then when it does, it gives your body rest from all of the intake, and it take eating, constantly eating puts pressure on your bladder, it puts pressure on your kidneys, your pancreas. And so once you do an intermittent fasting, now, most persons, they would normally eat, well, for us, I'll talk about us. We try not to eat any foods beyond 8 p.m. And so after 8 p.m., we rest. We may have a cup of tea or something like that. And so we don't have anything else to eat until about after midday. And that's a period of intermittent fasting. Some persons can go longer. Now, if you're on medication, I'm not a doctor. If you're on medication, you have to eat, then please do so. But you can try fasting one meal a day, whether it's fasting breakfast or dinner, or limiting the amount of intake of food. So if you're going to have a meal, rather than having peas and rice, macaroni, potato salad, um, corn on the cob, which are all starch heavy laden food, very, too rich in all the carbs, because for me, I'm carb sensitive. So anything that has too much empty carbs, I could have, carbs that are natural and I'm fine with it. But empty carbs, the potato salad, the corn and the macaroni and the peas and rice, is just too much. And so if you decide to fast, you can decide to fast from the carbs and just have your meat and vegetables. And so every little bit of that counts. It gives your
Mm-hmm.
immune system a boost. It makes your body healthier. Your body's able to process the food better. And at the end of the day, we all do better.
Mm-hmm. That's some good advice. And also, as people, uh, as people would understand when you're talking about fasting, and when you're talking about eating and intermittent fasting and all of these things, and the okra water thing, uh, and the turmeric, I wanted to remind or say to people, if you're going to use turmeric, if you're going to use turmeric in most fashions, you ought to add some black pepper
Pepper.
to the turmeric for
Yes.
absorption. Turmeric put in the body without black pepper is going to pass right through. It's not going to stop. It's
Very
just going to
important.
go straight up. So you have to use turmeric in combination with black pepper, or even some cayenne pepper if you can take it. Um, Also, with the okra water, you want to use that okra water because okra water, that slime in the okra that we used to, when we cook the okras, we cook the okra and we cook the slime out. No, you need the slime. The slime is the most important thing in okra. The most important thing in okra is the slime. You want the slime. That's why you drink the slimy okra water. I know people don't like it, don't like to think of it, but you need that slime because the slime is the thing that binds to the inflammation in the body and pulls it out of the system. And inflammation is just a nice word for pus.
Mhm.
I can say it raw. Pulls the pus out of the system. The slime does that, and you need that. And that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on making ourselves healthy and keeping ourselves healthy. My wife and I, Donna, we astonish doctors every time we go to the doctor and we get some eye test or we get some health um, from the doctors, and they are astonished when they start to question us and they go like, "Okay, so what medication you on?" And we like none, and they stop and they're shocked and they say, "How could you?" Because they expect you at a certain age. I'm over 60. My wife, I wouldn't tell her age, but she may slap me. But here we are, home. And so we are destroying ourselves. We need to calm ourselves. This is a war. And it goes right back. Let me just go right back. Just one little voice. I want to go right back to that we did last night. Uh, chapter 34, Psalm 34, verse 7. The angel of the Lord encamp around them that fear him and delivereth them. The same word there, delivereth. I started to tell us last night one of the meanings of that word there, because there are many words for deliverance. There's this deliverance is a blanket word in the English, but in the Hebrew there are differences there. This same word here in this text that says deliver is actually, it should read, and he armed them or strengthened them for war. Armed. And you're armed by knowledge, you're armed by understanding. Just as we're in this war now with COVID, you need to arm yourself with nutriments that you can get naturally from the fruits and vegetables that are in abundance right here in our own country that don't need to be imported. The only thing they need to be done is import them from the family islands where they are and the local farm where they are here in Nassau, New Providence, and bring them to you, or you go to them and get them. Arm yourself with nutrients that you can get that is so cheap and in so abundance. All of the backyard farming, grow your own stuff, grow your stuff as much as you can grow. Barter with friends and neighbors, and you got the pumpkin, and I got the squash, and your swap. So you have some squash, you have some pumpkin, you got the mangoes, and I need the mangoes, and I can get some mangoes from you and give you some pears for my mangoes. Stuff like that. We need to arm ourselves. We're in a war. And the only person that's going to that's looking out for you is you. Only you and God, you know. There's nobody else that look out for you better than you. Time and time, others have promised and have proven that it is futile. Look to God and look to each other for your own assistance and your help in this time that we're in this pandemic. Because you're not going to get out of it by looking to governments and looking to this one and looking to the next one. They're not gonna cut it for you. You have to be wise for yourself. There are people you're drinking lots of sodas laden with sugar. You know, I tell people all the time, as a treat, my wife and I, we would drink about average of about 3 or 4 sodas a year, not a day, a year. And even when we drink a soda, you know what we do with it? We dilute it, half water, half soda, hot ice, further diluted, just to get a little bit of fuzz every now and then as a treat. If we go and we get a Kentucky, it's about 4 times a year. It's a treat, not every day, every single day. No, 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 no. You are in a war. You have got to arm yourself with God's word, and you have got to arm yourself with common sense and realize you're in this thing, and the only way you're going to get out of it is to have a healthy mind, healthy spiritual. You got to be healthy spiritually, and you got to be healthy physically to stand up to COVID-19, or you will fall. You stand up to it, and you can only stand up to it if you're healthy. Whatever you do, even when you go to the shop and you buy the juices, dilute them. You can make a juice stretch. 1 gallon can stretch for 2 gallons because you add water to it. You're diluting it, even though, and you only buy the ones that have the natural sugar, no sugar added. And in spite of that, you still dilute it. Just get the little flavor. That's all you need. That's the flavor, because that's the thing that keeps us going back. And like I said before, with the shopping and all of the congestion and the shopping malls and the shopping food stores, all of that congestion is because you're buying too much sugar stuff, and the sugar stuff causes you to have to go back time after time, because when you go to the shop, my wife and I, what we would normally do is pass by the shop and look at the line, and 9 times out of 10, the same people who were in the shop on Monday are the same people in the shop on Wednesday and the same people on the shop on Friday. The same people, no different. If they were buying healthy stuff, they would have been going to the shop twice a month. When they lock down, you go to the shop, that's it. The first lockdown, we went to the shop once or twice. That was it. That was it for the whole lockdown. Armed, we had to arm ourselves. Not this daily thing, this every time the shop open, you there. No, buy what is nutritional, and you will find out that you will be cutting down on your bills for food, that you will be getting nutrition, and you will be able to stop the COVID 19. And then one final thing I want to tell you, if you have a system that's clogged up, and most behemoths, most people have a clogged up system, and I'm going to tell you this straight up, if you're not having a bowel movement 4 to 5, even 6 times a day is good, every day, then you need to check. You need to check because you're being clogged up. That also is a problem. And it is a problem brought on by the food you eat. The sugary stuff clogs you up. You're clogged up. And you could buy, and that's why you have to spend all sorts of money trying to get detox for this and detox. You wouldn't need none of those if you just eat healthy food. Eat your vegetables. Eat your fruit.
Drink your water.
Drink your water. You would find you put food in, 15, 20 minutes later, what you don't need, what your body don't need is coming out. So you need to check up on yourself. Like I said, just like the scripture said, he delivered, this is how he's delivering. Sometimes he arms you, and you are armed with knowledge, armed with understanding of what you need to do to survive in these last and evil days. Everything is coming at you. When you go into the food store, don't be too quick to pick up stuff. Read it. I go in the food store sometimes and I see stuff that I can't readily understand right there and then. So I take a picture of it with my phone. And when I get home, I study it. Understand what it is they're trying to put into my body. And if it's good, okay, something I can buy. And if it's bad, that's something I cannot buy, and that's something I will not. That's how we have to live. Healthy and wise. So, didn't mean to hold you this long, but what I want you to do is to share this with your friends, share this with your loved ones, share this with anybody you have any goodwill for. Share it. Because if we don't, you are going to be suffering, your friends will be suffering, they will be dropping like flies of COVID-19. The devastation and what's being caused by COVID-19, I tell you no lie, the heart has not been told. Arm yourself. You're in a war, you're in a battle. Bless you and keep you, and I want to see us around as much as God would allow us to be. It's only going to happen if we're healthy and if we're wise. God bless you. And again, we'll see you tomorrow